Hi, this is Amy with bookgoonie, and this is another In My Mailbox. I have quite a few books, mostly from Half Price Books. I was supposed to go to the Austin Teen Book Festival this weekend, and I went ahead and stayed home because my daughter had soccer. It had been a kind of crazy week for her, and my husband had a gig last night, and I haven't seen him play in a long time because he doesn't always play when it's convenient for me to leave my daughter or bring my daughter. And so I stayed home to support him and see him. So since I wasn't going to get to go, I went ahead and broke down and bought a book at the Scholastic Book Fair. This is Rotten Ruin by James Maberry, and he was going to be there, and I was going to pick it up there. Look at that cover, isn't that awesome? I haven't read this book, but I've heard how great it is from the bookish brunette, and she raves and raves about this zombie book, and it sounds absolutely awesome. It's about a boy who has to get a job as a zombie killer, and as he starts learning from his brother, he starts learning more about the concept of humanity and questions who he is, or are the zombies more human than the humans. So this sounds really awesome, and I can't wait to read it and then turn around and buy Destined Decay. At Half Price Books, went in for a small glimpse, and of course I came out spending about 30 bucks. Went in mostly for Adventures in Tom Sawyer. My daughter's reading it next at school after they're finished with The Outsiders. I'll retro cover, so I got that for her. And Ruby Reads had sent me Love Story to read and review for her website, and they had another Jennifer Echols book, Forget You, and so I picked it up for my library and can't wait to read it. I had the first in the two Chima series. I had the first, which is I think Warrior Heir and Demon King, and they've been on my daughter's library shelves for a while, and she hadn't picked them up, and my kids at school are begging and begging for me to bring more books to give them more choice than what we have on our library shelves. And I hadn't had a chance to read them, but I went ahead and read them up because the kids that are mostly asking are boys. I've had two boys read both of them. And so I picked up the second in the Warrior Heir series, and this is Wizard Heir. And the boy was like, "Hurry up, get your IMM done, and get it up here so I can check it out." So I look forward to maybe reading them at some point, but mostly this is for my students at school. I've been kind of picking up at Half Price Books when I see things on sale, books that were loaned to me that I really enjoyed. And so a friend of mine had loaned me everything she had Kelley Armstrong. And Kelley Armstrong, if you don't know, is one of my favorites. And I know this is a young adult blog, so I don't talk much about her, but I always say I want to reread her. She has my favorite couple, Clay and Elena. She has another series, if you don't already know, and there's two in the series. Exit Strategy is the first of the Nadia, I think it's Stratford series. She's like a hired hit woman. I think she's thinking about doing the third one in this series, especially now that another series is wrapping up. So if you haven't already read Kelley Armstrong's Exit Strategy, I suggest you do. So I have this picked up, so if you're in my area, I can loan it to you. Which brings me to Kelley Armstrong's Spellbound. I hadn't picked it up. This is like the 11th or something in the series. This is going to be the second to the last book. This one's mostly focused on Savannah. Tequila Reader had a really good interview with Kelley Armstrong, I think yesterday or the day before, about the series and about how she's ending it. I hadn't picked up Spellbound because I kind of don't want it to sort of end, but I know I can always go buy the hardback on Amazon for this price, but there's something about seeing it in Half Price Books, and it needs a home. I always feel like I have to give it to it. So can't wait to read this book, and I think Jess at Gone with the Words said it was her favorite in the series, so really looking forward to it. Love you, Kelley Armstrong. That is all in my mailbox. What did you get in yours?